One of the most powerful things about blockchain is that there's transparency and you can see everything. Well, according to CoinGecko.com, there are some stats and some analytics that you're going to want to pay attention to and bookmark this website. Let's dive into it. So right now I'm on a free website called CoinGecko.com. You could just literally Google search CoinGecko Treasuries, and this is going to show you all of the public companies and governments that are holding these assets, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. It's updated every single day. And I love crypto for this reason, is we can see everything on the blockchain. So shout out to CoinGecko for this feature. We can see here MicroStrategy, that's Michael Saylor's company, the US government, the Chinese government, the United Kingdom government is very sneaky. They're sitting at 61,000 BTC. Today, a deal was signed for a crypto deal between the United States and the UK. You can see Mara, which is a Bitcoin mining company, and they're continually to add features to this website. Now we can see here over the last 30 days, Mara has been buying Metaplanet, which is, I'd say, they're trying to copy what MicroStrategy is doing. They sell shares, they buy more BTC. They've added 2,000 Bitcoin. Riot added 22. So really cool feature. We can go over here to Ethereum, which is not as big, but Bitmine. Look at this. Bitmine has added over 900,000 Ethereum, putting them at 2 million Ethereum. There's actually an article that just came out about Tom Lee, who's running, the Bitmine, company, which is a Bitcoin mining company that is purchasing. Their whole balance sheet is Ethereum. Okay, it's a Bitcoin mining company, but they're all in on Ethereum. And BMNR is the ticker for that. Okay, now you can also see SharpLink. They're kind of following that similar textbook. They're sitting at 0.694% of the supply of Ethereum. Bitmine is sitting at 1.7%. And then you have Coinbase and then a lot of other smaller fish. I think this page is going to absolutely explode in the next 12 months with companies buying Ethereum and putting it on its balance sheet. Now, recently, we have started to finally hear about companies that are buying Solana and putting it on its balance sheet. Because when you look at CoinGecko and you look at the top 10 coins, right, we know Bitcoin people are holding, buying long-term. Ethereum, it's starting to be a trend, but eventually it's going to be what's next. We know that there's about 92 spot ETFs that are not yet approved, that eventually Paul Atkins, who was just on record last week saying there's a future for crypto. Crypto's here to stay. That's going to get approved, and then it's going to be the what's next game. Is XRP going to be on balance sheets? Is Solana going to be on balance sheets? Well, Solana is already being purchased at a crazy level right now. DeFi Development Corp has purchased 600,000 SOL, sitting at 0.3%. Upexi, okay? Take a look at this. Upexi, which is a company specializing in the development of manufacturing and distribution of consumer products. They have nothing to do with blockchain, but they are taking a pro-crypto approach, which, if you ask me, is probably going to work out very well for them and their stock. And I think more and more publicly traded companies, and eventually, private companies as well, realize the importance of having crypto holdings on their balance sheet, right? Raising the evaluation of their company, especially on paper. So you see Bitcoin, you see ETH, you see Sol. Is this just happen out of nowhere? No. 2024 was really that spot ETF year, according to ETF.com and Ron Day. He reported this last year. We saw all the ETFs coming about. We saw Gary Gensler, that fake tweet, and then eventually they were approved. And it's just amazing to see, because now, 1 year later, banks are here, hedge funds are here, pensions are here, companies like Fidelity are here. You can go to blockworks.com analytics and we can see all of the approved spot. Okay, the keyword is spot. Spot means that these funds have to have the underlying asset, which is Bitcoin in this fund. So, for example, Grayscale has 20 billion in the GBTC spot ETF. That means that they have $20 billion of Bitcoin under management. BlackRock has 88 billion. And what happens when this adds up to a trillion, 2, 3, 4, 5 trillion and today it's only sitting at 150 billion. There's a long way to go. And then you can look at the Ethereum one as well. Ethereum is sitting at a 24 billion ETF market cap, but Bitcoin is sitting literally about what, 5, 6, 7 times, 7 times multiplier from the ETH ETFs to the Bitcoin ETFs. But when you look at price, there is not a 7 times multiplier. Okay, there's actually a larger multiplier, excuse me. Ethereum's price to Bitcoin's price is obviously very high, but there's actually a, 4 multiplier based on market cap, because we don't go based off of price. It caught me there. So based on market cap, there's a 4x multiplier here, 500 to 2 billion, 2 trillion. And here you have a 7x. Okay, so there's 7 times more money in Bitcoin ETF than Ethereum, but in the actual crypto market, it's only about a 4x multiplier. So what does that tell you? Altcoin season's here, institutions are here, banks are buying. The question is, are you buying crypto? Let me know in the comments what you're buying, and do you think there's a future of more and more and more publicly traded companies coming out and saying, hey, you know what? We're going to buy some XRP, we're going to buy some Solana, we're going to buy some Bitcoin, and we're just going to put it on the books. Let me know your thoughts.